based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people.
Go on in. Go somewhere. We don't need people like you. If you subscribe to anything that he is saying, we don't need you. And you don't even have to be white. Hey, thank you for watching Power to the Pod, where we are committed to an intellectual integrity and a moral honesty. I'm your host, Superior, and once again, thank you for watching. Now, in this video, I want to discuss on why I feel in borderline, like I know we all love freedom of speech. It's a great tool. Like it's exactly what's allowing me to be here on YouTube, sharing my opinions and the information that I have. But it's always situations like this that we're about to watch when irresponsible, intellectually lazy people get a hold of misconstrued, on purpose polls and datas and analytics, and then they use that emotionally. They use incorrect data and facts, and then emotionally respond in a idiotic way. Like there's really no other way to put it. And then of course we have some Republicans that will utilize stories like this and then try to make a story out of this. And we all know a lot of Republicans love to have this make-believe boogeyman to fearmonger for their viewers to make sure they continuously have voters and support, because it essentially gets them money. So of course they love situations like this. So I'm talking about Mr. what's his name? Scott Adams. He is the cartoonist of Dilbert. And I mean, I don't even remember if I watched any of those cartoons. I'm not sure, but I do recognize the character. But for whatever reason, he ran into some poll. I don't know if he just seen it on the internet and he just thinks whatever's on the internet is gospel truth. And he has some really interesting things to say about black people. Let's have that conversation.
So if nearly half of all blacks are not okay with white people, according to this poll, not according to me, according to this poll, that's a hate group. That's a hate group. And I don't want to have anything to do with them. And I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. Just get away. Wherever you have to go, just get away. Because there's no fixing this. This can't be fixed. So I think it makes no sense whatsoever as a white citizen of America to try to help black citizens anymore. It doesn't make sense. It's no longer a rational impulse. And so I'm going to back off from being helpful to black America, because it doesn't seem like it pays off. Like I've been doing it all my life, and the only outcome is I get called a racist.
Because you are.
Whoa. Whoa, Dr. Richie, slow down. Like, hey, you jumped the gun on now. I was going to say, because you are. Like, I wanted to say that, but Dr. Richie, of course, beat me to the punch. But let me go ahead and backtrack, because I just want to kind of hear his whole reasoning and then kind of go through, step by step on what he's saying and just how just ridiculous it sounds. Like it feels like he just seen this information, turned on his phone camera and just started talking. He didn't think this through before he decided to speak, because I mean, it just sounds weird to me. So let's go ahead
now, I want to remind
and play this back real quick.
So if nearly half of all blacks.
Nearly half of all blacks. Okay, first off, nearly doesn't count. Who was that? Ray J's sister, I forget her name. Brandy, almost doesn't count. I don't know what almost is. Almost half, okay? But for the sake of this argument, Okay, nearly half, 40%, 45%. Out of how many black people did this poll? And Dr. Richie is going to get to it, but I still can't find the exact poll that he's referring to. Was it 1,000 black people that he, or not him, but whoever he's looking at this poll, did they survey 1,000 black people, 100,000, 1,000,000, 5 million, 10 million, all 13 something million black people? Did they survey everybody? And the last time I checked, I didn't answer no survey saying, am I okay with white people? I didn't answer that. And last time I checked, I'm black. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when it comes to these polls, like, we have to know who's initiating these polls and making sure they're a credible source. Because like I said, everything you read on Twitter, everything you read on Google isn't always gospel truth. Do a little researching. This is where it takes time and patience and being intellectually having that integrity. But obviously he's not practicing that because
are not okay with white people, according
Not
to this
okay.
poll. Not according to me.
Okay,
According
yeah.
to this poll. That's a hate group.
So my question is, do you believe that? And obviously he does, because he's blaming the poll. And he's saying, this is what the poll is saying, not me. So do you believe that poll? Obviously he does, because he wouldn't have made this video. But then he said, it's a hate group. So the last time I checked, even if one black person don't like white people, that is his prerogative. But that's not a hate group. He wouldn't be considered to belong to a hate group. Let's look at Wikipedia on what a hate group is. A hate group is a social group that advocates and practices hatred, hostility, or violence towards members of a race, ethnicity, nation, religion, gender, ideology, sexual orientation, or any other designated sector of society. So if person A, who is African American, and whatever the poll said, if the poll said, are you okay with white people, or whatever the phrasing of this poll was, because once again, I can't find this poll. And let's just say person A, African American, said, I am not okay with white people. That doesn't automatically put him into a hate group. Once again, irresponsible people using words or definition of words irresponsibly to sustain their, stupidity. I don't know what other way to say it. Like, can we go back to looking up words and making sure we're using them properly? I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's too difficult.
That's a hate group. And I don't want to have anything to do with them. And
Hold on.
That's a hate group. And I don't want to have anything to do with them.
You don't want to have anything to do with them. What about white hate groups? I mean, like, you can just look through history and kind of track where these hate groups kind of originated from and sprang into and kind of diverted and kind of, just spread out. Like, there's plenty of white hate groups. Are you gonna make another video saying, okay, there's a poll saying that there's a lot of white people that hate black people, and I'm just going to advise black people to stay away from white people? Like, is this video coming up soon? Well, that's just weird to me. But of course, being disingenuous, being not educated and not aware of, I guess, like, this thing we call reality, he's definitely not plugged into. You say stupid stuff like that, obviously, because,
And I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people.
Go on in. Go somewhere. We don't need people like you. If you subscribe to anything that he is saying, we don't need you. And you don't even have to be white. I'm going to be inclusive and add any race. If you agree with anything that he is saying, you can go. Actually, I'm going to take a phrase a lot of white people say: lead a country. Go onto a ship. You can fly anywhere you want. Get on out of here, because we don't need people like you, because you're not doing anything to progress anybody. Giving a couple of dollars to charity is not progressing the full agenda of helping black folks in the most basic way that needs to be addressed that hasn't been. I'm pretty sure he's not committing resources to that. Giving to a charity is not doing that. So why do we need you? Last time I remember, I still don't even know who you are. Why do we need you? I don't know. Like, I'm 36 years old and don't have no idea who you are or what you've done for, black people. So obviously what you're doing isn't helping or is not making a difference. So I guess you can go. I mean, I'll help you leave, honestly.
Just get away. Wherever you have to go, just get away.
Yes,
because there's
go.
No fixing this. This
Yeah.
can't be fixed.
I agree.
So I think it makes no sense whatsoever as a white citizen of America to try to help black citizens anymore.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense.
It does.
It's no longer a rational impulse. And so I'm gonna back off from being helpful to black
Go
America.
on, man. Okay.
Because it doesn't seem like it pays off.
It doesn't pay off. Okay. If your whole motive when you're helping people in his probably eyes who are in need, why do you always have to expect something back? What are you expecting back? Like a monument, a statue of you? Are you expecting like black people by the droves just like kissing your behind? Like, what do you expect back is my question. And maybe he's upset that he didn't get a parade. He didn't get a special day out of the month for, Scott Adams helping black people day or something. Like, what is he expecting to receive by helping other American citizens? I don't know. Very mysterious.
Like I've been doing it all my life.
All my life. And
the only outcome is I get called a racist.
Go ahead, Dr. Richie.
Because you are.
Ooh, there it is.
Okay, let's dissect the ways here. So he literally goes on, self mode. This is so important. Okay,
so let's go ahead and fast forward here. So I want Dr. Richie to get into these polls, and now, this is why, like I said at the top of this video, it is important to know who is initiating these polls. Are they credible? Are they just one-sided? Are they like Fox News where they're only going to put out, polls that align with their agenda? Like CNN, they're not going to show polls and stats that go against their beliefs or their agenda, obviously. So whoever is administrating these polls, are they credible? What's the sample size? What is their track record when it comes to these sort of pollings? Like we have to figure that out. And we already know there's a lot of disingenuous organizations, companies who will fabricate these sort of polls to have outcomes like this. We know that as rational thinking adults. So why is this even big news? I don't know.
Tell the world he's no longer going to help black people, because when he does, he's called a racist.
Okay, let's see. Let's fast forward here, right here.
Post-Trump years, fervently engaged in culture war fights. The company, once generally considered conservative, but still primarily a polling firm, has shifted its focus. Its online presence includes the results of its Republican-friendly polls, but also amplifies right-wing causes and rhetoric. The polls, meanwhile, are often sponsored by hard-right organizations and causes. So earlier this month, it embraced a different aspect of right-wing politics, the idea that white people face discrimination and racism equal to or greater than Black or other non-white groups. Let me give you a breakdown of the polling. As summarized, it suggests that only 53% of Black Americans agree that it's okay to be white. Hence, Adams' framing. Nearly half of all Blacks are not okay with white people. By itself, though, this is wrong. Only 26% say they disagree. That's according to the poll. But remember, these figures are for only a small number of Black respondents. If Rasmussen's 1,000-person poll included 136 Black adults, matching the national population, the margin of error would be about 8 percentage points. More importantly, though, Rasmussen didn't ask if people thought it was okay to be white. They asked if people agreed with the statement. It's okay to be white. Now, this is what we call front-leaning a poll. All right, it's
there
called a push
it
poll.
is. Okay, a push
Utilized
poll.
very often by political figures such as Donald Trump. He utilized push polls all the time. These polls are created in a way to get a false outcome.
There we go.
Or
Okay.
a particular agenda. So
A
they
push
pose the
poll.
question in a way. When the data comes back, they then interpret the data loosely based on their configuration and affix that product or that number to a false narrative. That's what you see here. All right. Ms. Dahl, thoughts?
Okay, I feel like you've kind of said it all, but that was my thinking, was just that the polling, how you phrase a question is very leading, right? Especially like from a lawyer, like how you phrase it is very leading. And to be
Okay, got you. All right. Once again, it's my show. Okay, so let me go ahead and sum this up here. So when it comes to polling, we have to be careful, and I already explained it. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you, because a lot of people seem to not watch videos with the volume up so they can hear what I'm saying. All polling can't be trusted. For example, if I did a poll, polling Black on Black crime, which is probably a lot of people's go-to polls when they want to try to demonize Black people. Let's just say for the sake of numbers in this conversation, it's 95%. Black on Black crime is 95%. Well, crime is a loose word. It's a broad word. Saying crime can be pickpocketing, and then it could be murder. So if we're just generalizing all crime committed from Black people to other Black citizens, the number is going to be high, because we already know that, one, proximity plays a huge part. Economics plays a huge part. Education plays a huge part. If you're not adding that, if you're not letting that kind of play a part in your numbers, of course the number is going to be high. If we did that with white on white crime, I'm pretty sure the number is going to be high. You know what I'm saying? But people don't understand that. So when they just Google something just right away, and you get a Republican right-leaning entity that's only pushing out these, generalized numbers, they're going to take that information and think they can rub that in people's faces, because it sounds good. Oh, 95%. Yes, that's what I wanted. So I can tell Black people that, they're just crazy animals and they can't be tamed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, once again, how can you disagree with what I'm saying? It's all facts. It's all facts. You know what I'm saying? But of course, this is what this channel is here for. If you disagree with me, let me know down in the comments. And like always, let's have that conversation.
Thank you for listening, and don't forget to join the conversation by subscribing. Make sure to tune in next time, and like always, power to you, power to me, power to the people, power to the pod.